Hello, and welcome to the CDO Magazine interview series. I'm Maria Espona with ArgIQ, Argentina Information Quality, and today we have the pleasure of talking with Veena Nayak at the University of Phoenix.
Good morning, Maria. A pleasure to meet you. I'm Veena Nayak. I'm Vice President of the Data Strategy and Solutions team at the University of Phoenix. I also head the data products family. As part of my role here, I have responsibilities for the data engineering, which is developing our enterprise data platform. I have the data governance team, which is setting up the policies and protocols for usage of data across the organization. We also have focus on business intelligence and reporting, which provides all of the metrics and KPIs for senior leadership to watch for our business goals, as well as a special focus on advanced analytics and in particular our AI and ML program. I have been with the university 5 years now, but prior to that, I worked with Amazon and I led their product selection team there, where we leveraged a combination of data and advanced analytics to build machine learning models to provide products in their alternative format. So I've been a passionate leader of data for over 30 years now. I really believe in the power of bringing insights to business leaders so we can solve their problems and really create the level of business competitiveness that's needed for them to succeed.
Wow, that's super. I really like what you are doing. I have been doing the past few years, so it's great to have you here and have the opportunity that you share with us your knowledge and experience. I have a few questions for you. The first one is, again, about experience, and considering your experience, that it's amazing. What are the steps that you consider relevant when designing and implementing a data strategy?
Absolutely. I think data strategy, like every other strategy that you would put in place, whether it's a business strategy, a product strategy, is a very intentional process. And the key goal there is to align with your business objectives. It needs to start with understanding your business objectives, and then you need to go backwards to make sure you have a comprehensive, a well-integrated plan that brings those objectives to the focus. So typically, and again, every company is very different in their journey of where they are in their, data-driven mindset, their culture. So you really need to start by assessing where the company is. It allows you, like every data geek knows, to create that baseline. You need to know where you are so you know where you can go. So starting with the business objectives, you need to lay down what is critical for the company as far as their key KPIs go. And then you can work backwards to making sure you've got all of the necessary components that can make up your data strategy. So I really just think of the data strategy typically as a house that you're building. You have the foundation, you need some very key components in the foundation, and typically that includes having the right understanding of the data governance you're going to have in place, because without good quality data, without a possible single source of truth, you may have many challenges as you think about the business problem. So start with the right foundation, include data governance in the foundation, have a deep understanding of how your data architecture is going to look like, which really typically includes partnering with your technology teams, your infrastructure teams, making sure that the vision that you have, whether it's current state or future state of the technology stack that you're going to leverage, is really in line with providing this data strategy. The other thing that goes at the bottom of the house and as part of the foundation is ensuring that you have a good understanding of the talent that you have. Make sure you have the right skills, and that's going to allow you to really understand how quickly you can implement your data strategy. As you think about the foundation, you then go into thinking about the pillars that go on to make that house. Very critical to any data strategy is understanding what are the key areas of focus you need to build. Again, if I think about most companies, they're in a spectrum. You've got the left-hand side where they're very early in their journey of understanding or leveraging data, and to the far right where you could be leveraging AI and ML and automation to really do everything in a more seamless and efficient way. But most organizations are not like that, and they're not always in one place across every department. So really understanding, where every department is in their journey in that spectrum, and then understanding which department perhaps needs to go first, because not everything needs to go the same way. So really just kind of putting a high level plan of the critical needs is going to help you really assemble the right pillars. So in the pillars, you're going to have a set of self-serve models, let's say, where your department leaders can move really fast and understand the data needed to make decisions. At the end of the day, the data is really a powerful tool to tell the story of what's happening in the business. So are they equipped to get that knowledge? Are they equipped with people that can do that for them, or are they equipped to do that themselves? Again, this all depends on how fluent they are about understanding data and leveraging it. Once you have a set of whatever you can call it, reports, dashboards, self-served assets, products that they can leverage, you need to also make sure you have a set of SMEs or subject matter experts that really understand the business and how they connect the dots with the data. So put a process there to make sure you're developing that strength. And again, sometimes this can be part of your data governance program. Data governance programs typically have the data councils and panels that include stakeholders across your organization. So really just make sure your data governance program is including everybody in the company, because it's really critical and essential that the data governance programs bring together everybody, because it's really critical that they are accountable and responsible for making sure that this works. Next, I guess, really again, set up a very high level of collaboration and communication so that you're able to tell the stories of your early successes. Because as we all know, the data strategy and anything that you do in the data is always a very long journey. I'll give you some examples of how we did at University of Phoenix. As we built the data strategy, we were very clear that we wanted to use a use case driven approach. And what I mean by that is we took specific examples of what we wanted to achieve. We had a three-pronged approach. So you always have a short-term, mid-term, and a long-term plan. Our long-term plan was to have be part of the digital transformation. So take our on-prem data repositories and assets and move it to cloud. But that is a long-term journey. It doesn't happen overnight. It takes a lot of collaboration. So while we got started on that, what we also knew was we really need to be able to give some of our leaders some very quick wins in understanding how the data connects. So building that conversation about how do you connect data that comes from a variety of applications that typically are used by your internal staff and your students and customers. So as you understand, Maria, in the world of academics, you have your students who are leveraging some systems like their learning management systems, where they're learning and engaging with your faculty, perhaps. That's information you need to bring in so that when your faculty or your internal staff, your counselors, your advisors need to engage with your students, they have the information that's useful to personalize that engagement. And again, creating that level of personalization helps our students, and again, all our student experience. So these are kind of really your North Stars to building the data strategy. Is it has to be aligned to your business goals. It has to be comprehensive so that it can really connect the dots on the various needs. And then it has to be integrated to your technology stack and vision of where you want to go, because really it needs to keep up with the times. As we all know, technology is changing at a very fast pace. So we really want to build data products that are in line with the current state of technology.
Thank you so much for what you said. It was really clear. And what I take from your answers, it's a couple of things. One is I like that you present that because many people think that the data strategy is something from the data department and it's not connected to the business or not connected to the people. And you put together how the data strategy should be aligned with the business objectives. So you have to have some data literacy inside the organization in order to them understand what is the problems and potential solutions. And also that you mentioned that you have the people, the organization, the data, the technology, all the different aspects that go together in this multiple D dashboard that run in parallel at different paces to achieve one goal that is long-term. That having the management commitment to do this, because it requires investment and time, I think it's something critical. So thank you so much for joining me today, and please visit cdomagazine.tech for additional interviews. Thank you.
Thank you, Maria. It was a pleasure chatting with you, and I hope you have a good rest of the day.
Thank you, you too.